Time for public comments. Looks like we have several here. Comments will be held in 3 minutes per person. If you will approach the podium, state your name and address for the record. First up, Bryant.
Good afternoon, Wayne Bryant, 235 Greenview Court here in Padosa. I was snowed in for about 10 days during the holidays and then had to dig my way out and go to Tucson. And when I come back, I had this. You guys see this? What this is?
Yeah, I have
You've seen this. And offering $100 incentive for kids without parents' permission by San Juan Basin Health District to promote the vaccine and only promote it if anybody disagreed with it. They were not allowed to be entered into this contest. And then to find out that supposedly the school board or the school superintendent wasn't aware of this, that these people got into our schools and were going around the classrooms talking about this kind of stuff. Are you guys aware that this was happening in our school district? This is terrible. I understand Kim resigned because of this. Is that true? Has she resigned because this happened? And she says she knows nothing about it? This is a crying shame. These are our children. And our parents weren't even given a notification that this was going on, and then offering incentives of $100 to our kids to promote a vaccine that hasn't been isolated? Gentlemen, something needs to be done about this. These are our children. We've already had 2 years of classes being taken away, schools being stopped, the other school being gone. Our kids are not learning anything other than critical race theory and vaccinations, promoting them, but yet not anybody be able to say anything against them, and then offering them $100. Are we supporting this with our dollars that we're sending to San Juan? This is crazy. This needs to stop. It needs to stop right away. And we need to stop San Juan. We need to get our own and do whatever we can. If these people are going to come down and lie and sneak into our schools, promote this, that's a crime. That's child endangerment. That's abuse. There's multiple levels of crimes that have occurred here, especially 12 years old. Wow, this is crazy. We need to do something about this, and this is serious. These are our children, gentlemen.
Okay, next up will be Shalene. Correct?
Hello, Commissioners and fellow citizens. It is the belief of many concerned citizens here in this beautiful town, based on our experience of the past 2 years we've been in this crisis, that the leadership of this town do not have any intention of helping mend the communication barriers rampant in our community. I believe the root of our problem stems from our inability to have civil discourse, public debate, and a free exchange of ideas amongst ourselves. Things have become so politicized and so polarized that we aren't even able to speak to each other. Every single community has been affected: schools, workplaces, families, hobby groups, churches. No community has been spared. We experience how you all, along with the town council and the health department, fail to respond to us. We see how you dodge us, file us away, and pacify us with empty statements and promises. You give us just enough to keep us from becoming enraged, but fail to give us the answers we deserve. It's not too late to shift this, but we're running out of time. To start, we need to create a safe space to come together in person and have important, all-inclusive conversations. We need people of all walks of life to share their perspectives and research and to re-examine the evidence behind everything that's going on regarding the pandemic and inevitably of an economic reset. We will need to acknowledge our mistakes, admit the truth, and accept responsibility for how we will respond. Then we'll need to band together all of our strengths and skill sets, help those in need, and prepare for what's coming. We are far better off navigating these uncharted territories together. We need experts in their field to share their knowledge. Let's bring together creative, solution-oriented mindsets to envision the best ways forward, not just from educated people, but from everyday street-smart people who know how to get things done. For this to happen, we have to be able to share without fear of rebuke or intimidation, even if the view goes against the mainstream narrative. If we don't talk this out, if we're not allowed to ask questions, then we cannot analyze the situation properly. And we won't be able to arrive at truth, science, or solutions. We cannot afford to allow this dysfunction to continue any longer. Help us relearn how to be civil. What we so desperately need for these divides to be bridged is for you, our elected representatives. We need you to cease and desist complying with the tyranny and uphold your oath. We need you to encourage that we come together as a community. I ask that you please stop dodging us, and I think you know the us that I'm referring to. Be transparent about what's going on. When you're making decisions on our behalf, receive our input first. That's what we elected you for. We need you to stop tolerating the exclusion of dissenting views from community discussions surrounding the health of our county. What you resist persists. Shift this by surrendering your ears, opening your heart, and allowing us to be heard. Understand we do hold you all responsible for every action taken or neglected and for the policies you've enforced. We're very interested in what agreements you've made with the federal government and healthcare agencies and whether you believe we should continue receiving services from San Juan Basin Health Department. We demand answers from them too, and we will hold them accountable for everything they participated during this pandemic. Help our voices be heard so that we may represent all of us. Let the truth be known, and praise God, protect our country.
Shalene, can you get your address real quick?
It's north in the third court.
Thank you. Dwight, Bill Hayner, is that correct?
Still.
Dwight, Bill Howard.
Bill Howard,
Thank you.
okay,
Yes.
sorry.
173 Shadow Place here in Pagosa Springs. What might you think of these statements about the United States? And these are rhetorical in nature. I'm not really looking for a response from you. Racism is foundational to the United States distribution of power. In the U.S., institutional racism is what perpetuates inequality. Racial injustice brings the issue of systemic racism to the forefront of America's consciousness. Systemic racism, institutional racism, foundational racism, they express how racism is ingrained into the very fabric and laws and institutions and documents of our constitutional republic. It is permanent. It's systemic. And so it cannot be removed. So it can only be replaced with something else. Do you believe that? I don't. But apparently our health department does, because these are phrases taken directly out of our health department's online news feed on July 17, 2020. You can look it up online. It's right there for everyone to see if they take the time to do it. Fast forward almost 2 years to last week. 2 health department representatives enter our high school campus. Neither parents nor the superintendent are aware of their presence on campus. Nonetheless, they are there seeking out the Youth Rise Club to present a new Junior Heroes Challenge program. Eligible students are offered $100 incentive to participate. What makes a student eligible? They must promote the health department's position on the vaccine and nothing else. A student asks if participation can present an opposing view if a student doesn't want to receive the vaccine. They answer, you have to follow the contest rules. But since the health department regards any opposing view as misinformation, no matter the research or the science, the answer is no. Only the health department's view promoting the vaccine makes a student eligible. In other words, think like us, or you are ineligible to participate and the $100 will go to someone else. We don't support opposing views because that is misinformation. Those are the terms. So that's our health department in action. From promoting critical race theory and declaring our institutions guilty of systemic racism to engaging in bribery, deceit, closed-mindedness, discrimination, manipulation, and coercion of our youth in our county schools. Why in the world should we desire to remain under the umbrella of a health organization like that. I would far rather be willing to pay more to support our county health department, our own, where constitutional freedoms are respected. While you're in office, establishing our own county health department is the best thing you can do for our county and our community. Thank you.